There comes a point in life when excuses stop sounding reasonable and start sounding empty. The point where you realize that every excuse you've been holding on to has quietly delayed the life you want. This is that point. No more excuses. It's time to rise. Rising is not about waiting for life to improve. It's about deciding that you will improve regardless of the circumstances. Because the truth is, life will never be perfectly ready for you. There will always be challenges, uncertainty, fear, and discomfort. The question is not whether those things will exist. The question is whether you will let them control you. Most people know what they should be doing. They just don't do it consistently. They delay, they hesitate, they negotiate with their potential, and every day they delay, they teach themselves that comfort is more important than growth. Excuses feel safe, but they are expensive. They cost you momentum. They cost you confidence. They cost you belief in yourself. Every time you say, I'll start later, you weaken your self-trust. And without self-trust, motivation disappears. Rising begins with ownership. Ownership of your time. Ownership of your choices. Ownership of your future. When you take full responsibility for your life, you stop wasting energy blaming the past, people, or circumstances. And in that moment, you take your power back. Because what you own, you can change. You don't rise by hoping. You rise by deciding. Deciding to show up even when you don't feel like it. Deciding to work when it would be easier to wait. Deciding to move forward even when fear is present. Fear is not a signal to stop. Fear is a signal that you are stepping into growth. Every time you avoid discomfort, you train yourself to stay the same. Every time you face it, you expand who you are capable of becoming. Stop asking for motivation. Motivation follows action. Movement creates energy. Energy creates belief. You don't need confidence to start. You build confidence by starting. Small actions done consistently will always beat big intentions done occasionally. Your future is shaped by what you repeat, not by what you promise yourself once. Rising requires discipline. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. It is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. On the days you don't feel inspired, your habits decide your direction. That's why successful people don't rely on mood. They rely on routines. Your mornings matter. How you start your day shapes how you show up to life. A distracted morning creates a distracted life. An intentional morning creates momentum. Protect your focus. Focus is power. In a world full of noise, the ability to concentrate is an advantage. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your reaction. Learn to say no so you can say yes to what truly matters. Stop comparing your progress to others. Comparison steals energy and clouds judgment. Your only responsibility is progress. One step forward every day is enough. There will be days when progress feels slow. Days when results are invisible. Days when quitting feels tempting. Those days are not signs you should stop. They are signs that you are in the process. Growth always feels uncomfortable before it feels rewarding. Unsuccessful people stop when it gets uncomfortable. Successful people understand that discomfort is the price of growth. You don't rise by avoiding struggle. You rise by outgrowing it. Your past does not define you unless you keep living there. Your mistakes do not disqualify you unless you refuse to learn from them. Forgive yourself quickly. Carry lessons, not guilt. Guilt drains energy. Wisdom builds momentum. You are allowed to want more from life, more growth, more purpose, more impact. Wanting more does not make you ungrateful. It means you are honest with your potential. Rising requires clarity. Clarity about who you want to become. Clarity about what matters most. Clarity about what you are no longer willing to tolerate. What you tolerate becomes your standard. Raise it. Raise the standard for how you use your time. Raise the standard for how you speak to yourself. Raise the standard for how you respond to challenges. Life rises to meet strong standards. Stop reacting emotionally to everything. Learn to respond intentionally. Reaction gives away power. Response gives it back. Ask better questions. What can I control right now? What action moves me forward? Who do I need to become to handle this? Better questions create better outcomes. You don't need to fix your entire life today. You need to win this moment. One disciplined decision, one focused hour, one courageous step. Momentum is built one choice at a time. Rising is not loud. It is quiet consistency. It is showing up when no one is watching. It is doing the work even when there is no applause. One day, you will look back and realize that the hardest seasons built the strongest version of you. You didn't rise because life got easier. You rose because you stopped making excuses. And that decision is available to you right now. No more waiting. No more explaining. No more excuses. It's time to rise. Rising means accepting that no one is coming to save you. No perfect moment. No perfect plan. No perfect support. And instead of feeling overwhelmed by that truth, you feel empowered by it. Because if no one is coming, that means everything changes when you decide to change. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. The moment you stop waiting for others to believe in you is the moment your life accelerates. Waiting is comfortable. Rising is courageous. Comfort keeps you where you are. Courage moves you forward. You rise when you stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, what if I don't try? Regret is heavier than failure. Failure teaches. Regret only haunts. You are not built to live small. You were built to stretch, to grow, to push beyond what feels easy. Every time you avoid effort, you shrink your future. Every time you lean into effort, you expand it. Stop underestimating the power of effort applied daily. One focused hour a day can change your life. One disciplined choice repeated consistently can rewrite your identity. One brave decision can create momentum that lasts for years. Rising is choosing progress over perfection. You don't have to do it flawlessly. You just have to do it faithfully. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will feel tired. Both days require action. Because discipline does not depend on how you feel. It depends on who you decide to be. You are not your emotions. You are your commitments. Feelings change. Commitments shape destiny. The people who rise understand the simple truth. Success is boring most of the time. It's repetitive. It's routine. It's doing the same right things again and again when the excitement fades. That's why most people quit. Not because it's impossible, but because it's uncomfortable. But discomfort is temporary. Pride lasts. The pride of knowing you didn't quit on yourself. The pride of knowing you did the work when it mattered. The pride of becoming someone you respect. Self-respect is built through follow-through. If you want to rise, start finishing what you start. Stop leaving promises incomplete. Every unfinished commitment weakens your confidence. Every completed one strengthens it. You don't rise by doing more. You rise by doing what matters consistently. Cut the distractions. Silence the noise. Focus on the few actions that move your life forward. Busyness is not progress. Activity is not achievement. Clarity creates results. Ask yourself, honestly, what am I avoiding right now? And then do that thing. That's where growth lies. Rising also means letting go of who you used to be. Old habits, old stories, old limits. You cannot rise while clinging to comfort zones that no longer serve you. Growth requires release. Release excuses. Release blame. Release the need to be understood by everyone. Not everyone will understand your rise. Some people benefited from you staying the same. Let them go. You are not responsible for managing other people's comfort with your growth. Rising may feel lonely at times. That's okay. Lonely paths often lead to extraordinary destinations. You don't need everyone with you. You need commitment within you. When doubt shows up, don't argue with it. Outwork it. Action is the antidote to fear. Fear fades when faced repeatedly. Each time you act despite fear, fear loses authority over you. Eventually, confidence replaces it. Confidence is earned. Earn it daily. You rise by becoming disciplined with your thoughts. What you tell yourself matters. The voice in your head should challenge you, not tear you down. Speak to yourself like someone you are responsible for leading. Replace I can't with I'm learning. Replace it's too hard with I'm getting stronger. Replace maybe later with now. Language shapes behavior. Behavior shapes outcomes. Rising means deciding that today matters, not tomorrow, not next week, today. What you do today becomes who you are tomorrow. So stand up mentally, stand up emotionally, stand up in your habits, stand up in your standards. This is your moment to rise. Not because life is easy, but because you are capable. No more excuses. Rising is not a single decision you make once. It is a decision you renew every single day. Some mornings you will wake up ready. Some mornings you will wake up tired, unsure, and heavy. On those mornings, discipline must speak louder than emotion. You rise when you do the right thing, even when no one will notice. Great lives are not built in public moments. They are built in private choices. What you do alone shapes who you become in front of others. Stop waiting for recognition. Recognition comes after results, not before. You don't rise by proving others wrong. You rise by proving yourself right. There will be times when progress is invisible, when effort feels wasted, when silence replaces encouragement. Those moments are tests, not of talent, but of commitment. Most people quit in silence. Winners keep going in silence. Trust the process even when it feels slow. Growth is happening beneath the surface long before it shows. You don't plant a seed and dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You water it. You protect it. You trust it. Do the same with your goals. Protect your energy. Not everyone deserves access to your dreams. Not every conversation deserves your time. Guard your focus fiercely. Your attention is valuable. Spend it intentionally. Rising requires mental toughness. The ability to stay calm under pressure, to stay focused under distraction, to stay disciplined under temptation. Mental toughness is built, not inherited. It is built by doing hard things on purpose, by choosing effort over ease, by leaning into challenges instead of running from them. Each time you choose discomfort, you strengthen your character. Character carries you when motivation disappears. You will never rise higher than your ability to manage yourself, your emotions, your time, your reactions. Self-management is self-leadership. Lead yourself well. Stop rehearsing excuses in your mind. Rehearse action. When obstacles appear, ask, what's the next best step? And take it immediately. Speed creates momentum. Momentum creates belief. Waiting weakens confidence. Action strengthens it. You don't need to know the entire path. You only need to see far enough to take the next step. Clarity comes through movement. Some people talk about change. Others become it. Be the one who becomes it. Rising also means being patient with your growth. You are allowed to be a work in progress and still demand excellence from yourself. Progress and patience can exist together. You are not late. You are being shaped. Every delay is teaching something. Every challenge is refining you. Every struggle is preparing you for responsibility you are not ready for yet. Don't rush the process. Respect it. When you finally rise, you will realize that the waiting wasn't wasted. The struggle wasn't punishment. It was preparation. And one day, without realizing it, you will look back and see how far you've come. Not because you were lucky. Not because life was easy. But because you stopped making excuses. You chose to rise. And once you rise, you never see life the same way again. Because you understand this truth, you were always capable. You just decided to act like it. No more excuses. Rise. Rising also means forgiving yourself for the time you wasted before you understood better. You cannot build a powerful future while constantly punishing yourself for the past. Learn from it, then let it go. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. You rise when you stop replaying old mistakes and start rehearsing new behaviors. Every day is a reset. Not because yesterday didn't matter, but because today matters more. Too many people stay trapped because they keep identifying with who they used to be. But you are not your old habits. You are not your past choices. You are the person who can choose differently right now. Identity is flexible. And when you change how you act, you change who you believe you are. Act like someone who rises, someone who keeps their word, someone who shows up on hard days, someone who doesn't quit when it gets boring. Rising is not dramatic, it is deliberate. It's choosing sleep instead of distraction. It's choosing learning instead of comfort. It's choosing effort instead of excuses. These decisions don't feel heroic in the moment. But over time, they create a life that feels extraordinary. You rise when you stop outsourcing responsibility for your happiness. No one owes you motivation. No one owes you opportunity. You create both through action. Waiting to feel inspired is a trap. Inspiration visits people who are already moving. Start messy. Start unsure. Start scared. Just start. Momentum rewards movement. You don't need to eliminate fear to rise. You need to move with fear beside you. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to let fear decide. Fear asks, what if it goes wrong? Faith asks, what if I grow? Choose faith. Rising also means understanding that sacrifice is temporary, but regret can be permanent. The discomfort of discipline lasts minutes or hours. The pain of regret lasts years. Choose the pain that pays you back. You are always choosing. Comfort now or strength later. Excuses now or freedom later. Delay now or pride later. No one escapes this choice. The people you admire didn't rise because they were special. They rose because they were consistent. They kept going when it was boring. They stayed disciplined when no one was watching. Consistency is invisible before it is impressive. Be patient with results, but impatient with excuses. Your environment matters. If you stay surrounded by negativity, distractions, and doubt, rising will feel heavier. Change what you listen to. Change what you consume. Change who you allow to influence your thinking. Protect your mindset like your future depends on it, because it does. Rising requires silence sometimes, less talking, less explaining, more doing. Let results speak. You don't need to announce your growth. Grow quietly. One day people will ask how you did it, and the answer will be simple. You stopped making excuses. Rising means becoming someone who finishes. Someone who doesn't need constant motivation. Someone who acts from standards, not feelings. Standards create stability. Stability creates success. When life hits you hard, and it will, rising means standing back up without drama, without complaining, without quitting. Fall if you must. Just don't stay down. Every time you stand back up, you teach yourself resilience. And resilience is the backbone of success. You don't rise by avoiding failure. You rise by refusing to stay defeated. This journey will test you. It will stretch you. It will demand more from you than you think you have. And then it will show you that you had more all along. No more excuses. No more delays. No more negotiating with your potential. This is your call to rise. And this time, you answer.